Leviticus 7:7. This is the day the Lord has made, and today we're going to be talking about spiritual entrepreneurship. And so I want to take you to Colossians chapter 4, verses 3 through 6. And it says, "Withal praying also for us that God would open a door of utterance to speak the mystery of Christ, for which I am also in bonds." So he's telling us right here that to pray specifically. So there are 4 steps in this. There are 4 verses. And he says to pray specifically for a God-given open door. And this means that we are not forcing our way into people's lives. In the book of Acts, it talks about that when they heard this, they were pricked in their hearts. So it was the Spirit of God. They saw the demonstration and power of the Spirit. It wasn't a human pricking their hearts. It was the Spirit flowing through that human, through Peter, the Apostle Peter, to prick their hearts. It was the Spirit of God that brought the conviction. Verses 4 says that I may make it manifest as I ought to speak. So in this second step, it is praying that we have the boldness to speak under the anointing and to take advantage of this opportunity. And the next verse says to walk in wisdom toward them that are without, redeeming the time. That means to be an example, to have a reputation that is a godly reputation, one that is above reproach, is so very critical to our Christian witness. And finally it says, let your speech be always with grace, seasoned with salt, that ye may know how ye ought to answer every man. Our words have the power to bring life or to destroy the open door that we've prayed for. With that in mind, I want you to think of 9 entrepreneur characteristics. So as a soul winner, we need to take on these same attributes. And the first one is motivation. Having that motivation to seek God for that open door, having that motivation to reach souls, that burden. And the next one is vision, having a vision for the lost, having a vision of what God is going to do in and through you. And the third is to have a passion for the ways of God, for that separation that God gives us from the world. The fourth is confidence. Walking in the confidence that He gives us, not the confidence of the world, not self-confidence, but God confidence. The next one is decision making. So we want to be able to make decisions that are based on God's purpose for our life. The 6th characteristic is optimism, and that is something that will either make or break our witness. We must refuse to be negative or tacky to others, but to take on a mindset of positive, of faith building, of optimism that comes from God, from being in His Word and excited about what He's doing in your life. The 7th is the ability to network, and that is simply to being able to connect with other people, whether they are your denomination or your religion or your race or your gender or your age. It's the ability that God gives us. I believe it's the love of God that is without prejudice. So being able to connect to people is very, very important. The 8th thing is tenacity, and that to be a tenacious person can also be a negative thing, but in this instant, it's about having that dogged determination. It's about being determined. God, you are going to work through me to win someone for you. And the 9th thing is adaptability. Being able to adapt to whatever circumstances God places you in, and having the right spirit with it. These are things that speak to me personally. And I believe that if we can put these into action, these 9 characteristics, and walk out the steps God has given us, which is to pray for an open door, to pray for boldness and take advantage of those opportunities, to live out that example, having that reputation, and then making sure that our words line up to Spirit-led words. This, my friends, I believe will bring us into that realm of being a spiritual entrepreneur. So I invite you to join me over the next few lessons about how to incorporate these 9 characteristics of a true entrepreneur. I hope this blesses you. Have a great day.